know if you noticed, but Gary actually kind of laughed at my first question of why you should go all in with YouTube for business success in 2024.
It's so funny that we're even still asking these questions. The fact that this is the question still blows my mind.
And he was like, why are people still asking that question? Like, if you're a human on planet Earth, you know that that's where the attention is. But I asked it to him because that is the question that YouTubers and business owners are asking me. A lot of people who I talk with, they started on YouTube, they started their business, but they're asking themselves, am I on the right path? Should I still keep doing this? And I look at their channel and they have like less than 20 videos posted, and I look at their website and it's so disorganized, it's not clear what problem they solve and for who. And so I just wanted you to hear from Gary why it's so important to go all in with YouTube in 2024. And if you're someone who has started and you haven't gotten that traction, I encourage you to keep going. You are on the right path. Even Gary, he was posting on YouTube, I think he one time said, for 9 years before he started to get that initial traction. And that's because the growth on YouTube is exponential. If you stick around in the beginning, you will experience that upward growth. And I know that from my own experience and from my clients because we literally see that in their YouTube studio. And so I encourage you to eliminate the BS, eliminate the excuses, and really put on like your big boy or girl pants and take full responsibility. I know that's not always an easy thing to do, but when you take responsibility and stop pointing fingers at the algorithm, at your parents, at your coach or your mentor, then that is when results will start to come in. The people who I work with who do the best, they are self-led. They show up, they do the work, and if something doesn't work out, they don't point their finger at me. They pivot and they find a new way, they find a new approach until something does work. That is truly the YouTuber and the entrepreneurial mindset that you need to have if you want to succeed with YouTube and with your business for 2024. And my last client, this stuff works, everyone, because in the last podcast episode that we did, she talked about how she was able to earn $10,000 in 3 weeks of working with me. And not all the strategies that we first tried worked out the way we thought, but we continued to pivot and adjust our approach until, boom, something started to work. And that's the beauty in it all. You don't need to be perfect before you start getting leads and sales, especially through your content. If you look at some of my earlier videos, they're not perfect. My old website was totally disorganized. However, it still got sales because people got to know, like, and trust me. And so I just want to give all of you that message. I know it's not always easy, as Gary said. Sometimes we post and it can be very disheartening when we don't see the results that we want. But you really need to remember why you're doing this. You need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture and analyze yourself. I know like society says like, oh, like, if you like quit, that's bad. And I'm not telling you to quit, but sometimes you just need to look at what you're doing and pivot as necessary. So don't think of it like quitting if you change your approach. Think of it like pivoting. And that's actually why I got to where I am now, because I pivoted my niche. I pivoted my approach. And along the way, there were a lot of naysayers. And even Gary touched on this. Sometimes your closest friends, your family won't support you. For me, I had a family member tell me, like, when I told her, I'm doing YouTube, she was like, oh, how old are you? Like 14? You want to be a YouTuber? Like, what the heck? And so you have to let go of that. Honestly, I let that fuel me. I kind of have like this attitude of like rebellion and revenge, like, ooh, like, I'm going to prove you wrong, just wait. And those people will end up supporting you once they see the results that you're able to provide. So you really need to trust in yourself. Trust in yourself to show up, to do the work. And don't even think of it like work. Think of it like your passion work. It should get you out of bed in the morning. And so I just love what Gary said about the naysayers. It should fuel you. And at the end of the day, they're human and you have to see them that way. And you can't let that stuff stop you. I'm telling you, like, what a shame is it that, you could have had this big impact, this big influence on other people using YouTube as a vehicle, and you let some comments stop you. To me, that's crazy, and don't let that be you. I'm sure that there were a lot of people who had the ability to be a Tony Robbins, an Oprah Winfrey, a Gary Vee, but they let that stop them. Do not let that be you. I'm telling you, you will regret it. So that's why I go by Ari the Creator, because you are the creator of your prosperous life, future, and business. You listening, you are the creator. And when you take responsibility and you're clear on what it is that you want, that's when results will start to come in. And again, I've worked with some people and they're like, oh, like, like I don't have the skills, I don't have the time, I don't have the money. Become resourceful. That's what I did. When I was a senior in college, I wanted to go to Tony Robbins Business Mastery with money I didn't have. As a broke college senior, I found a way to put together $10,000. Where there's a will, there's always a way. I sold my blood plasma. I was a test subject in MRI studies. I was a barista. But as I was a barista, I would listen to podcasts. I would listen to Gary Vee, Tony Robbins. I would listen to TED Talks, Oprah Winfrey. And it really humbled me. And being a barista, I knew that one day I'd be telling this story. And here I am now. And you have to do that too. My last client who earned 10 grand in 3 weeks, she was due for a baby in 2 weeks. She had a little girl as well. And she invested practically all her money into me. But she didn't just invest her money and expect me to do everything. No, she showed up. She took my suggestions and she implemented them. She never pointed fingers if something didn't quite work out the way that we expected. We just took a different approach. And I tell you that because that's what you need to do. Where there is a will, there is a way. And I don't know about you, but if you have that feeling in you that you know that you could be something great, really just listen to that whisper in you. Listen to it and hear what it's telling you. I know that sounds kind of woo-woo, but that's what I do. I have this inner voice that speaks to me, and I get this vision of what I can be, and that excites me. And don't do that in an egotistical, narcissistic way, but think about just imagine stepping into your full power, your full ability as a human. A lot of people aren't tapping into their abilities and their potential. So for the longest time, I'll give you an example. I was insecure about being so smart because in middle school and in high school, I was, that's nerdy, that's not cool. And so I would always be, I was really quiet. I would be afraid to raise my hand when I knew the answer. But in college, when I started embracing the fact that I know a bunch of shit, that's when I was just so surprised. People respected that. People thought that was cool. That I knew all these different things about a bunch of stuff, about science, about math, about nature, about business. And I don't know, I just think whatever it is that you're good at, be that. Maybe you're super hilarious. Maybe you're just super genuine, calm, collected. Be that. Don't try to be someone you're not. The way I talk on camera, the way that I deliver is going to be different than the way you deliver. And someone like Gary Vee delivers. And so it's just a matter of finding your voice and using a vehicle like YouTube to get that word out there, to become seen, to become heard. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to communicate in this video. So I hope you found this video helpful. I did create a library of resources. Some of them are free that you can check out down below, from free channel reviews to beginner courses to programs for more established YouTubers and entrepreneurs who want to get to that next level. I'd be more than honored to help you where you're at and to help you achieve your goals. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.